Welcome back, panelists here. NBC News Chief White House Correspondent Kristen Welker, also co-anchor of Weekend Today. Peter Baker, the Chief White House Correspondent for The New York Times. Brendan Buck, former advisor to Speakers Ryan and Boehner. And Kimberly Atkins, Stohr, the senior opinion writer for the Boston Globe. Well, let me set the scene here a little bit. Kristen, I know you have some good new reporting on this whole document business. We have the president. He's passed his 2-year mark. He postponed his reelection announcement until after the State of the Union. Clearly, it has to do with this classified document probe. And he tried to address it again on Thursday.
Fully cooperating, looking forward to getting this resolved quickly. I think you're going to find there's nothing there. I have no regrets. I'm following what the lawyers have told me they want me to do. It's exactly what we're doing. There's no there.
No regrets and no there. We already heard Senator Manchin saying there should have been some regrets. This timing issue, there are a lot of elected Democrats who are a bit frustrated with this White House right now.
To say the least, Chuck. And I am told that there was this drip, and then that additional set of documents that was found last weekend. And so the calculation inside the Biden world was that, look, we need to stem the bleeding here. We need to stop this. We need to make sure that there are no additional disclosures. And that's why they invited the Justice Department to do this search inside the president's Delaware home. But you heard his comments there. There's no there. I can tell you, in talking to folks inside and outside of the administration, they were concerned about that language before we learned about the search last night. Right. And then I was getting all sorts of messages saying this is exactly why statements like that do not age well. They do think that he should be more apologetic and say, look, we're going to wait for this to play out. Politically speaking, this has been incredibly challenging for this administration and from a messaging perspective as well.
Peter, does the "but Trump" paragraph work here for Biden?
Only so far.
Yeah.
Clearly it's very different than Trump. You outlined it very well already. Trump was trying to defy a subpoena. He knew what he was doing. Seems defiant even to this day that he owns the documents in effect and could do whatever he wanted. Biden is saying, look, this is an innocent mistake. Certainly didn't mean to have these there. But that only goes so far. And it is the transparency issue. It is the notion that they went for 68 days without telling the public. Yes, they told the archives. That's what they should do. But they'd hid it from us before the midterm elections. Their argument is, look, as a matter of strategy, it was more important for us to show that we were cooperating with the FBI, not litigate this in public, but they're paying a cost for it. And the cost is that Democrats themselves are frustrated and think that the White House has caused an own goal here.
Brendan, has this been a boon to Donald Trump? Does it actually give him traction again when I think there were a lot of Republicans hoping this classified document thing would sink him? Yeah. And they wouldn't say it out loud, but they thought this thing was going to sink them, and now they think, oh, nope.
Yeah, if there's some action taken against Donald Trump and not against the president, that plays right into everything the president has always said, that there's two sets of standards. And you can say until you're blue in the face that these situations are different, but voters are going to see that there was consequences for one president and not the other. And clearly they are different. But look, Donald Trump is not the standard. You can't set the standard of how Donald Trump handled things.
That's Biden's biggest problem, isn't
it? That is big. And Joe Biden himself was attacking Donald Trump for the underlying infraction, not just whether he didn't give him back. The underlying infraction, either that matters or it doesn't.
But this is a missed opportunity here, because at a time when the public trust in institutions is at a very, very low point, this was an opportunity for the Biden administration to say, look, this is how it's done. As soon as they got the information about these documents, invite the FBI in then. Search everything, take a look. This was inadvertent. And then you can show how this is very different from saying, I can unclassify it with my mind, or defying federal authorities and saying, no, I have a right to keep these things. They're mine. That's very different from how they're handling it. It was an opportunity to show that to the American public, and they missed it.
I know this is a classic case of lawyers being lawyers and not wanting to get into the PR game, but it really looks like that keeping a close circle here was damaging.
It has been damaging optically, and again, from a messaging standpoint. It's important to point out, and Kimberly, you kind of touched on this, that in terms of this search that happened at President Biden's Delaware home, the thinking is it's going to be short-term pain with long-term gain because they are being transparent in this moment. But, Chuck, I've been sitting in the briefings
water torture
day after day after day.
Game,
and, yes, there's been a drip, and not a whole lot that the press secretary can say, in large part because the White House counsel's office wants to be very careful about the investigation. Now, they did start to shift their strategy, the White House counsel's office providing a little bit more information, but there are key questions that still remain unanswered, including why it took 2 months for the world to learn about this.
I want to talk about another investigation and another issue of transparency. It's the Supreme Court investigation. I want to put up their first, when they announced that basically an investigation was done. The leak was no mere misguided attempt at protests. It was a grave assault on the judicial process and following up on all available leads. The Marshals team performed additional forensic analysis and conducted multiple follow-up interviews of certain employees. But the team has to date been unable to identify a person responsible by a preponderance of the evidence. Kimberly, preponderance of the evidence was a phrase of doing a lot of work in there, and to me, including it seemed to be a yellow flag.
Well, listen, I don't know. It's a very legal term that we would use to judge a lot of other things. I think the big takeaway from this is that the Supreme Court as an institution has been this insulated institution for so many years, and that even the Marshal tasked to try to carry out this investigation worked against that fact. There were no real rules about how to handle decisions before they were publicly released. 82 people had a hold of this draft opinion, and it was even unclear in the initial report whether they even spoke to the justices, because they are. You cover that
firestorm left and right, and they put out a new statement saying, oh, no, we talked to them too.
But in that institution, they are almost deified in a way that it seemed like doing so, or even admitting that you might have done so, might have seemed like doing something wrong. It just shows all the ways that talk about a lack of transparency. There's a few places less transparent than the Supreme Court.
Brendan, there was nothing illegal about the act, so there was only so much the Marshal could do. That was another problem here.
I look at all this, and it just feels like the Supreme Court is starting to be like all the rest of our politics.
Yeah. Welcome to the club, guys.
Stuff leaks. I mean, it used to be that the Supreme Court, it was read. It wasn't heard. It certainly wasn't seen. But now you have people, you go your average progressive, and they probably have a bobblehead doll of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Like, that's just so political in every way now. It's just starting to feel like it's no longer this thing that you can hold aside as, the high integrity institution.
The black robes they don't wear black robes anymore, Peter Baker. They're red robes and blue robes.
Yeah. No, that's right, because we do refer to them now as, in fact, for the first time, really, the last few years, you see Republican-appointed justices being consistently conservative, or Democratic-appointed justices being consistently liberal. In the old days, it was much more of a mix, right? Yeah. Some Republicans would be more liberal, some Democrats would be more conservative. Now it feels like, you're looking at it as R this and D that. And it's just a very different way of looking at the Supreme Court.
I do think that one of the key takeaways is that because this was an internal investigation, it was not subject to the rigors of an FBI investigation. Could they have made the argument that a government document was seized? So
maybe
that's
Congress will say that
I
draft
think.
Supreme Court rulings are classified until they're released to the public, because then the FBI would have been involved.
Exactly. Yeah. But I do think the takeaway, and we were kind of getting to this, is that what needs to change? There needs to be more security around this. Fewer people may need to be read in. Listen, these people admitted to telling their spouses about the draft document. That's problematic.
Actually, though, they all have one thing in common. We don't think they're transparent.
Right.
The court, the presidency, the Congress, you name it, and guess what? Zero trust.
That's
you got to earn
deficit.
Trust back.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.